You see it backwards, forward, forward, backwards. And nevertheless, it's June 11th. So we're reading Proverbs 11 today. Grab your word, your sword. Let's get into it, y'all. And it reads, it's long, y'all. So we're going to read through this. Um, let's go. The Lord detests the use of dishonest skills, but he delights in inaccurate weights. Pride leads to disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. Get humble. Get humble. You want to get wisdom? You want to get wisdom that comes from the Holy Spirit? You want to get direction and clarification, directions for making the right choice, making right choices? Get humble. Let go of pride. Verse 3 says, honesty guides good people. Dishonesty destroys treacherous people. Riches won't help on the day of judgment, but right living can save you from death. The godly are directed by honesty. The wicked fall beneath their load of sin. I'm on verse 6. The godliness of good people rescues them. The ambition of treacherous people, it traps them. When the wicked die, their hopes die with them, for they rely on their own feeble strength. The godly are rescued from trouble, and it falls on the wicked instead. With their words, the godless destroys their friends, but knowledge will rescue the righteous. Y'all, that was the verse of the day from yesterday, verse 9, which says, with their words, the godless destroys their friends. Remember, we talked about being in conversations that lead on too long, talking to the wrong people, and then we unintentionally begin to partake in gossip and lies and rumors and the slandering of other people, and then that creates miscommunication and hurt feelings and deception, and it goes on and on and on. So yesterday we kind of talked about what just shutting your mouth, and today, as you can see, we talking about honesty. Verse 9 says, let's read it again. With their words, the godless destroys their friends, but knowledge will rescue the righteous. The whole city celebrates when the godly succeed. They shout for joy when the wicked die. Ooh. Upright citizens are good for a city and make it prosper, but the talk of the wicked tears it apart. Yeah, yeah. When you talk foolish and you got wicked speech and wicked words and you tearing down instead of building up, you can tear apart basically anything, relationships, friendships, right? You're the one that's responsible for a lot of quarreling and division. Ooh. Verse 12, it is foolish to belittle one's neighbor. A sensible person keeps quiet. Mind you now, when we're talking about neighbor, we don't mean the neighbor next to your home. We mean the person next to you, your coworker, right? The person next to you while you're driving, you're walking, in your church, in your community. Verse 13, a gossip goes around telling secrets, but those who are trustworthy can keep confidence. Hey, welcome in everybody. We're reading Proverbs 11. Whew, and Proverbs 11 is just snatching all our edges together right out the door, right out the hook, right out the back. It's getting us all together. Let's keep going. Verse 14, without wise leadership, a nation falls. Ooh, there is safety in having many advisors. Let's read that again. Without wise leadership, a nation falls. Kind of make you think of the USA. There is safety in having many advisors. So just don't think that you know it all, that you got it all together. There is safety in getting counsel from people with wisdom, asking people who may have knowledge and experience, right? There's danger in putting up security for a stranger's debt. It's safer not to guarantee another's person debt. Use wisdom with that, because it can definitely be a snare for you, especially if the person is not responsible. They're not good with being a good steward over their own money. And so you come along and you put up a guarantee for that person, and they may just fall off and not do what they should be doing just because you have guaranteed to cover them. So use wisdom with that. Verse 16, a gracious woman gains respect, but ruthless men gain only wealth. Ooh. Verse 17, your kindness will reward you, but your cruelty will destroy you. Eventually it will. And sometimes you feel like you're getting away with it, but you're really not. Evil people get rich for the moment, but the reward of the godly will last. Godly people find life. Evil people find death. Evil people find death. And sometimes, y'all, it's not a physical death. Sometimes death is to, when you're evil, it's death to your relationships, death to your marriages, death to community, death to associations, death to like things that you're aspiring to do. Because sometimes your dark and evil ways can cause you to miss those things and mess up those relationships and those things that you value. So when we hear the word death here, it's not always talking about a physical death, right? Sometimes you can cause things in your life to die, to perish because of your words and your evil and wicked ways. So let's turn away from those things. Evil people will surely be punished, but the children of the godly will go free. A beautiful woman who lacks discretion is like a gold ring in a pig's snout. Who God? So it doesn't matter how beautiful she is. If she lacks discretion, she gonna be causing you some pain. Let's read that again. It says verse 22 says, a beautiful woman who lacks discretion is like a gold ring in a pig's snout. So if you just going after beauty, get ready for some pain. Shata. Use wisdom. The godly can look forward to a reward while the wicked can expect only judgment. Give freely and become more wealthy. Be stingy and lose everything. Y'all, that's a principle. That's a life principle right there. Book it. 11:24. Give freely and become more wealthy. Be stingy and you lose everything. That is a life principle. Verse 25. The generous will prosper, and those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. Y'all serve others. It's talking about serving others, even when you don't feel like it. Sometimes, y'all, we got to get past what we don't feel like doing, and we got to do what's right anyway. Push through our flickery, funny feelings. Verse 26, people curse those who hoard their grain, but they bless the one who sells in time of need. If you search for good, you will find favor. But if you search for evil, it will find you. Ooh, ooh. If you search for good, you will trust in your money and down you go. But the godly flourish like leaves in spring. Those who bring trouble on their families inherit the wind. The fool will be a servant to the wise. The seeds of good deeds become a tree of life. A wise person wins friends. If the righteous are rewarded here on earth, what will happen to the wicked sinners? Ooh, Proverbs 11 was deep today. But y'all, let's talk about Proverbs 25 says, Proverbs 11:25 says, the generous will prosper, and those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. So let's talk about refreshing others really quick. One of the reasons why we're not growing as Christians may be that we're not passing on what we already know, right? We may receive a lot of teaching, for example, from things that we learn at church, things that we learn at conferences, and when we go to women's events and men events and just different leadership courses and classes, we learn different things. And from our own personal reading also, as well from the Bible and from reading other books and devotionals, just material that help us learn and grow. But we're not actually exercising our faith by putting into practice those lessons that we already know in our heads if we're not reaching back to help somebody else, to refresh somebody else. A stream becomes stagnant when its water stops moving. Ooh, come on. Sometimes our faith plateaus because we aren't acting on what we know. We may become spiritually flabby and need more exercise. We grow by actively doing things, not just sitting around talking about them. We may discuss aspects of the Christian faith with our Christian friends. We may just sit around talking about evangelism but never actually doing it. So Proverbs 11:25 says that when we refresh others with everything that we've learned and gained, we ourselves will be refreshed. But let's get into the verse of today. Today's verse is 11:5. The godly are directed by honesty. The wicked fall beneath their load of sin. So that's the verse of today. I chose Proverbs 11:5. And basically, in a nutshell, it's talking about learning to be honest because honesty matters. Being honesty with each other. We have to stop trying to pull the wise over other people's eyes and just get to a place where we tell the truth. And I talked about it over on TikTok that honesty doesn't just include cheating and stealing. It's much more than that. We have to not be deceiving other people because honesty guides good people. And dishonesty, it destroys treacherous people. Y'all, that's Proverbs for today. That's Proverbs 11. I'll see y'all back here tomorrow for Proverbs 12. And if you don't take away nothing from today's Proverbs, honesty matter. So as you go about today, be honest. Tell the truth. Even those little white lies, y'all, that's dishonesty. Tell the truth.